you can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on the driver's side, and number 5 is on the passenger side. Kind of an odd setup. Check the line bore now. Checking in a couple of different positions in each main cap. Make sure it's round. And once I get that checked, I'm going to go back and install the side bolts, torque those, and recheck it one more time to make sure that we're still good and straight. Rechecking the line bore after we torqued up the side bolts on it to see how much that actually changed it. Go through and check them in 3 or 4 spots around the main bore to make sure they're round. And then we'll see if we need to do anything with the line bore on it. Most of them stay relatively decent. The GM blocks seem to be a little bit on the tight side as far as the tolerance goes. So I usually end up having to hone a couple of 2 to 3/10 out of it, which that's what this one seems to need. So we're going to do that next. Something I do that a lot of people probably don't realize on a aluminum block with steel main caps, if you don't roll the block over with the main caps down where the weight of the mandrel is on the main caps, it will tend to hone more out of the aluminum block side than it does the steel main cap side. So I flop them over, steel main cap side down. I just use a mandrel without any special line honing machine. I just bought a mandrel from Sonnen and use it just to do minor touch up on line boards, which seems to work relatively well. Probably 2 or 3 strokes will do what needs to be done as far as taking out 2 or 3/10 out of the block, and it just makes sure that the mains are all straight and it's not twisted in any shape or form. Spray a little WD-40 down on the stones, which seems to work relatively well, and give it a few strokes with the hone and go back and recheck the main bore, and hopefully we'll be in good shape then, and I can move forward with decking the block next. See if I can show you what it looks like now. You can see how the aluminum is pretty much nice and shiny, clean looking, and the steel main caps seem to be the same way. So I believe we're in pretty good shape as far as the line bore goes.
Thought I'd just show this setup again, the BHJ fixture setup. Had a little bit of criticism from some people, which is fine, about my setup. I'll show you here. Now watch the indicator. 0 on the bar. And move it down to the other end of the bar, like so, and 0. The bar is definitely perpendicular, or not perpendicular, but flat to the cutter head. So if the block's bolted solid down to the bar, then it's going to be straight end to end. And we use the center cam tunnel and the mains to get our deck square off of that. So that's how it works. Hopefully people understand that. Let's get a little bit longer bolt. That's snapped up. Then we have, show y'all down here again how this works. There's a, I guess, a bushing basically that this threaded rod goes through, that's hooked into the tapered cone, and then we have this slot in the plate. That plate bolts up. Go with the right parts, like so. And it holds the plate square. So we've got this, which is what we indicate on, and then we'll cut the deck. And you've seen where I checked the bars front to back, so we're square there. I just have to indicate this end.
the indicator on the cutter wheel and adjust the plate till we get a 0 number. Once we get the 0 number, we'll go down and lock the hold down in place with the 2 nuts and recheck and make sure we are zeroed out. These nuts don't have to be real tight, just good and snug on each end. And then we'll double check our indicator. Sometimes it pulls it a little bit. You have to make some minor adjustments. You really don't have to loosen that jam nut to make an adjustment because you're not tightening it so tight. So I think we're in pretty good shape right there.
As I've done in the past, I like to hit them with a little dicum. Don't take much, just a light coat. Just makes everything stand out a little bit better. Wait for the dicing to dry.
On the front and the back, check our numbers and take about a thousandth off of it and go back and look and see what it looks like after we've cut roughly a thousandth off from where we've touched off. One end was a little bit higher than the other, so it's probably the rear of the block that's going to cut first.
Use the mic here and measure up at the top of the block and take a reading, and then measure down here and take a reading, and they are about exactly the same. Need to take about 4 more thousandths off of it. I shortened the video up just a little bit. I didn't show decking the other side of the block. I wanted to talk a little bit here at the end, kind of give some people some updates as far as how the motor's going. This build is a raffle giveaway motor for the car show that we're going to have at Covenant Community Church in Yukon, Oklahoma. We did a show last year. First show we did, it went real well. We had roughly 200 cars show up, and the weather wasn't great. This year, I decided to build a motor to raffle off to try to draw some more interest in people coming to the car show. Let everybody know that the proceeds for this motor are going to go to the church for the children's ministry. That's something that I think we need to do. Take care of our kids, help them get involved in motorsports. I think the car show's a way to kind of do that. I've had several people step up and donate things for the motor. I'll list them at the end of this, and I'll list, if they've got a website, I will list that in the comment section. Everything's going real well. Next video, I'm probably going to do a video on finish honing the block and pinning the cam bearings on it, and then probably a couple for with the assembly, and I still have to put the heads together and do those. So there's probably 2 or 3 more videos coming on this motor. Hope everybody will get involved and purchase raffle tickets. That's my goal, is to get people to purchase raffle tickets. Hopefully, my YouTube followers will step up and purchase some raffle tickets for the show. Maybe even come to the show if you're from out of state or whatever. There's several people in the neighboring states that came last year. Hopefully they show up again. I feel pretty confident that a lot of them will. We had some of the original Street Outlaws from the 405 show up last year. I really appreciate them showing up. Depending on what their schedule is and what they're doing, hopefully some of them will show up, and maybe a few new ones. The people that's donated, I really appreciate that. It's, I think, going to be
a very good show. We've got food trucks that are going to show up. It was a good event for the first event. We've got a lot of things in the works. I'm going to build all the trophies again to give away at the show for the different classes. I'm seeing some plaques to give away to the participants, the different class winners, stuff like that. I'll probably show some kind of little video of some of the trophies and machining some of the plaques and stuff. For those that don't know, it's a carbureted LS motor with a coil pack ignition setup on it. So it's going to be a complete running motor. When you get it, you'll just have to hook fuel to it, put whatever accessories you want to on the front of it, and bolt it in whatever vehicle you want to put it in, and hook up fuel and power, and it should start up and run. If you're from out of state and you win it, we'll figure out how to get it to you. We may deliver it to you, do a video on delivering it to you. I've had a few people talk about wanting to do something like that, so we might do that even. So I hope people will step up, buy some raffle tickets. It's for a good cause. I know my YouTube followers, a bunch of good people, and hopefully you'll share this and get some more people involved, and get them to buy some raffle tickets. That's my goal, is to sell a lot of raffle tickets. Last year we had roughly 200 cars show up at the show. My goal this year is to have 300 cars show up. It's what I'd really like to have. It doesn't matter what it is, street car, race car, road race car, drag race car, your daily driver. Bring it to the show, buy some raffle tickets. We'll have a good time. Last year it was pretty hard on me trying to do the show just because of circumstances with my grandson and my wife. This year, hopefully I'll get around and be able to talk to more people, and we'll do maybe a little bit better as far as giving away the trophies and doing some pictures and stuff with the trophies. We're going to attempt, or I'm going to attempt to do a live video of giving the motor away, and a little bit of live video from the show, the day of the show. So we'll see how that goes. That's the plan. I don't know. I've never done anything like that, so we'll figure it out. And hope everybody buys raffle tickets. I appreciate everybody subscribing, watching. Share this with your friends. Come to the show, and we'll have a good time. I appreciate it.